How many of you out there have confusion in your mind? In other words, the same thing you're doing day after day, you seem to be plateauing. You're not getting no better. You might be stuck, and they call it like a hamster in a wheel. You just can't figure it out. You have stacks and stacks of personal development books, and something's just not clicking and something's not right. And it seems when people tell you to think, we become what we think about. To think, no matter what you seem to do, a negative thought just keeps coming into our mind, and we don't know how to combat that. Well, I have figured out a while ago, because I was shown by my mentor, who was Bob Proctor, about a thing called the stick man. Now, to be honest, when I first heard about this, I kind of chuckled at it a little bit. And for the first 4 or 5 months, I just kind of nodded my head like, yeah, I understand. But I really didn't understand how it works. Now, today, I understand how it works, and I am so glad I get to show it to you, how it works. So in this video, is what I want to do is I want to go over to my whiteboard explainer, and I want to draw the diagram out and take you through it, how it kind of works, to give you like a Reader's Digest of how the stick man really works. And the main part about the stick man is this. Thurman Fleet invented this image a long time ago. And is what Bob always said was, when we have confusion in our mind, that means we have confusion in our life. So if there is something that happens during the day that I have confusion about, I usually Google it. Maybe I YouTube it, I Google it, and I get the image or the explanation of what that is. And if I get the explanation, that puts an image in my head. Or if I get a description of what it is, that puts an image in my head. And it eliminates confusion. So when you're asked to say, what does your mind look like? Most people are going to be more apt to say maybe the picture of the brain will come up. And your mind is not the brain. But is what we have is confusion. And when we have confusion, it's no good for our results. Is what we want to do is eliminate the confusion. But we just can't simply go and ask Google what our mind looks like and have it give us a good description of it. And the stick man is not really a description of what the mind, because nobody's ever seen the mind. But this gives you something to work with. So I'm going to walk over to my whiteboard right now, and I'm going to explain to you a step-by-step, like I said, a Reader's Digest version of how the stick man works, how it's worked in my life, and how it can work in your life. So stay tuned. Thanks. Okay, hope you can see this board okay. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to explain to you the stick man figure and kind of give you a diagram of how it works and how our mind functions with using the stick man, by using it, so we can get a better idea of maybe why we're getting the results in life we're getting. So we're going to start off with, and a lot of people have seen this and a lot haven't. So we're going to call that the mind, and we're going to separate into 2 parts. So the top part being the conscious mind, which is the thinking mind, and your subconscious mind being below the subconscious is the action part of the mind. Then we have our body, okay? And we know what our body is. That's what does things that we give action to. So how the conscious mind and subconscious mind works, the subconscious mind doesn't care what you put in it, but it is going to come out here in our body, whatever we put in that subconscious mind. So a lot of people call the subconscious mind a lot of different things. The early Greeks referred to it as your heart of hearts. It's your habits, it's your paradigm, it's what do the work. That's what does everything, is the subconscious mind. So it's what we have done this is how we all live, is we have sensory factors. And those are like little antennae. This is just an image for you to work with on top of our mind. So we can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. At least most of us can. So what happened is we ended up, with those sensory factors, we build an image in here. Now, where did that image come from? We think in pictures. So they'll develop the image. The image came from whatever action created an equal and opposite reaction, and that produces what we have as our results, your everyday results in life. So that comes from what we do, the actions we take cause a reaction that produces the results. Those results are going to come up here, and they are going to create what we call our reality, or your outside circumstances. Sorry about my spelling, it's not the best, my penmanship is not the best. But those are your outside circumstances. So your results create your reality. So these sensory factors are picking up your reality. And they're doing what we call, they're building an image. Now that image has been impressed on the subconscious mind so many times, it's fixed in there. So as what happens, we have an automatic repetition. So we send that image down to our subconscious mind over and over and over all day long, because that's in our results. So this model here might be referred to as maybe a hamster in a wheel, plateauing, not going nowhere, getting the same results over and over again. So that is how most of us live. So is what Bob Proctor introduced you to do is, he wants you to use your intellectual faculties, which nobody really knows about. And they are, you can reason. That's one. Your intuition. That's another one. Your memory. Your perception of things. And your imagination. If we use one of those, we're going to do something. I'll grab another colored pen here. What we're going to do is we are going to shut off these. Maybe in meditation, whatever we have to do, just shut those off and build the image of what we want in our conscious mind. So we're going to use these instead of these. Now, this is not taught to you in school. We're going to use these intellectual faculties to build this image. So now that we have built the image in our mind, let's say we use our imagination, we use whatever sensory factor, whatever factor you want to, we build the image in our mind. Now is what I want to do is get that image out in my results. Now, how am I going to do that? I have to impress this image over and over and over again like that one was impressed. But see, this one has automatic repetition. It's seeing my reality and my outside circumstances. So it doesn't have a problem doing that. I need to do that myself. So how do I do that? I do that through conscious space repetition. I want to get this over and over and over in here until it becomes fixed like that one did. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to get on the frequency of what that is, usually your goal. I'm going to get on that same frequency of what that is over and over. So I'm going to use meditation. I'm going to use prayer, acting as if, goal cards, affirmations. There's hundreds of different ways to get emotionally involved with that goal until it gets fixed in here. When it gets fixed in here, it's going to eventually come out here in your results. When it comes out in your results, of course, it's going to be changing your outside circumstances or your reality. When it starts to change your outside circumstance and reality, these sensory factors, which are always working unless we turn them off, like in meditation or prayer or sleep, like I instruct you to do, is going to build that image from what that is. So now all of a sudden I got this image floating over here, and now my sensory factors are seeing that image. And that's got an automatic repetition, and that image has been fixed in there. So then what do we need to do? Now that I'm learning the system of how it works, well, what's next? Now this image now is here. So I want something different. So I'm going to build the image of what I want and do the same thing. Use the same system. Now, I know this is just a Reader's Digest version of the Stickman and this system and how it works, but I want you to get the idea of how we're eliminating confusion. We're seeing now, oh, that's how that works. Maybe that's why I keep getting the same exact thing over and over again, because I'm not changing the image. And if I change the image, I'm just changing it for a second, because most of us get an image of what we want or an idea of what we want, and then we kick it to the curb with a, well, I can't have that, or I'm not meant to have that, or that's not in my wheelhouse, or my family never got stuff like that, or I wasn't raised like that. You know, we have a million opinions and excuses of why we can't have that image, and we also don't know how to build that image using these. Now, Thinking into Results, Bob Proctor's program, teaches you how to use those, how to operate those, what each definition of each one is, and how to do this. And that's just one small part of what Thinking into Results will do for you in your mind. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. I'm going to go back to my other camera now, and I hope this helps some of you. So thank you. Okay, I'm back at my desk. I hope that demonstration kind of gave you a little bit of clarity and less confusion on how our mind works and how our daily thinking puts the results in our life and how those step-by-steps work. Now, my name is Chad Reynolds. I'm at Unlock Wealth Consulting, and I have been a student of Bob Proctor's for about 6 years. And I understand this, and I understand how it works, but it's taken me a while to get there. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me or you want to talk about it more or get more information on it, please, I'm going to put a Calendly link below in the description to where you can get a hold of me. Now, at the same time, I will put up here, right above me, Bob Proctor's Born Rich series. Now, Bob Proctor has a seminar that he did back in the 80s, all about personal development, about the Stickman, about how things work. That's how I got introduced to it. But back then, it was in different parts all over YouTube, and it wasn't digitized, and it was confusing. But I had to find them. They were very good. It's the same videos. But now, fast forward to today, all the videos have been digitized, and they're really clear, better quality. And now at the same time, I have taken the time out to take all of his videos, and there was 6 different parts, and I put them all into one playlist. So that will eliminate confusion of going to looking for part 1 and skipping from part 4 to part 2. All the stuff that I went through, I'm hoping you don't have to go through. So I'll put the link right above me for that full playlist. I'll put my Calendly link below. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me. And please like and share the video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber to my channel. I'm hoping this video will help people. It will reach people, so share it with them. Help people eliminate the confusion of how their mind, subconscious and conscious mind works. So thanks, and you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.